Decided to take on this massive project. Heck yeah. What the heck, man? Seriously? Hey, it's Aaron. It's been a long couple weeks. Got back from a trip to Canada with my oldest daughter up to Banff. That was fun. Did a video about that. Got all new flooring in the house. Kind of went crazy and redid everything while I had a little time. Also, picked up this Japanese-made Lyle Acoustic guitar, F520. So far, it plays and feels really nice. I love the Japanese guitars. It was made in the Matsumoku factory. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. I believe in the late 60s from what I found on this. They were made there 60s to late 70s, I believe. But yeah, I love this. It feels great. You know, overall great shape. It is tough to find information on these Lyle guitars. I will get into that a little more. Also, there is debate whether or not this is actual solid wood or laminate. I'm having a really hard time telling myself. Hopefully we'll uncover as we get a little deeper into it. I can find out. But at this point, really tough to tell. I can tell you the new flooring, definitely laminate. But yeah, right now it plays good. I want to get some new strings on there. There are some issues. Well, one of the things when they said with laminate is it tends to pull up in the bridge. Might be a tiny slight pull up, but there will definitely need to be a neck reset. That seems to be a common thing too. At this point, it doesn't need it. I can play this just fine, but I want to get it perfect. The action does get a little higher up here. Still playable and comfortable, but I want to pull this apart, reset it. Hopefully, pulling that off, I'll be able to tell, you know, whether or not this is solid body. There is a guy online, eBay, selling one. Looks exactly like this, claims it's spruce and rosewood. Don't know what kind of rosewood, but it does appear to be the same model. Wants quite a bit of money for it. I don't expect to get money in return out of this. I just want the guitar for the history and the fun playability of it. I am acquiring a little too many acoustic guitars, so I am gonna have to cull the herd at this point, but I would like to hold on to this one. I just like the look and the feel. Of course, the history and the Japanese build. That's what interests me most. Yeah, also with acoustic guitars, I have too many, so it is tough to keep them up here. Montana is so dry, and the weather is, well, I would say Montana is like the most emo state. It goes from like the soft, bright, warm days to next day just cold and harsh. Guitars don't like that. I have to constantly humidify them. I don't want to keep up all of them. It's hard enough. Anyways, let's get into it. That was for Will D, I think. I don't know. Commented on one of my last videos about tuning my guitar. I'm not salty anymore though. You were right. And also got my 100 subscriber, which maybe that's a big deal. So thank you, Jeff Seaman. If I had a prize to give to you, I would. Best I could do is a lazy dog or a dysfunctional PV reverb amp. Anyways, thank you. You too, Will D. Here's a better look at the top of the guitar. I do like the adjustable bridge here. That'll probably come in handy. There is the model number. Really like the look of the neck. And it does have the 0 fret here, as well as a slotted headstock. And I dig the tuners as well. Tuners all seem to be working pretty good. Overall, digging the style. Now, looking up the history, first I kind of came across people saying that these were made in Japan as basically Gibson seconds. There was a guy in Portland, Oregon who was a former worker for Gibson, who would take the seconds and repurpose them and make Lyle guitars. But then I did find some more history, and it seems a little more accurate. The Lyle company was based out of Portland. LD Heater Music Company in Portland and Beaverton, Oregon, imported guitars from 1918 to 1984-86. It was named for Lyle Delos Heater. He was born in 1913, and his father was also Lyle, was a manager for Portland's office for the Columbia Graphophone Company, selling Alexander Graham Bell's talking machine. Alexander Graham Bell was a Scot, by the way. This does seem more accurate. Says they did produce the guitars in Japan at the Matsumoku factory, known for Epiphones and Arias and other guitars at the time. Yeah, other than that, hard to find information. Also worth noting, the LD Heater Music Company was not part of the Gibson lawsuits at the time. So here's the situation. I'm back in the dungeon, which still needs, I don't want to talk about it. I lost my good tool for removing the neck. So I'm just gonna have to use this and tape it off nice. Hopefully I don't do any damage. Try to heat up this heat gun for removal. Tuners work surprisingly better than I thought they would. All right, so first thing I noticed is there's something weird going on under here at the bridge. I don't know if that's just the adjustable bridge or what, but let's see if we can get in there and look. guess that's just the screws for the adjustable bridge. It's like a traditional X bracing. Let's see how this goes. I have this heated up. See if I can gently pry it under this. That seems to be working pretty good. So I'm guessing it's pretty dry under here. There we go. I think that's pretty much there. Now I just need to get in here. Not feeling too much budge yet. Part I'm gonna work really slowly on, starting from this gap. Okay, I'm gonna have to call it a day and put my thinking cap on for this one. This is pretty loose all the way here. Problem is, what I'm assuming is a dovetail joint in here, loosening that up enough, the glue that's inside there. With the limited tools I have, I don't want to drill holes in this, so I gotta somehow get enough heat in there to loosen it up to pry it out without ruining anything here. All right, thinking cap on, back at it tomorrow. All right, I'm back in the dungeon. Now, I wanna get this finished. Back down here, which is fine because the weather's good, except it just started downpouring a second ago, even though it was 90 degrees earlier. But overall, weather's good, and I'm not bummed about being down here. And I got it all cleaned up, which is part of the reason I took so long to finish this. But anyways, I'm gonna try a new method. I'm just winging it here. Got this all loosened up, but I don't want to drill a hole. Action wasn't that bad. I don't think it needs a total neck reset. My theory is I can wick some glue in here at the base of the neck and leverage with clamps to get that straightened out good enough. I'm not gonna video this part. I'm already kind of stressed out about it as it is. I just want to get it done. So speed was key here to see if this theory works. Essentially having it clamped here to a board and then applying pressure here till I get the right line, and hopefully setting that for a few hours or more. If not, if it goes back to the place it wasn't a bad place. But in my theory, if this holds, this will be a nice setup. I've been so back and forth trying to figure out whether this is solid wood or laminate. Yesterday, I was pretty convinced myself it was laminate because I wasn't finding enough grain imperfection or whatever. And then I took a look inside. It really did look bookend pieces. I mean, there's dust and everything on there. I saw that and thinking that does look like real hardwood. And then I just noticed there's a little wood imperfection. I don't know if you can see in the light. There's like a little dimple in the wood. It is also bookended on that side. And that seems like a detail that wouldn't be in laminate. So today I believe it is real wood. Okay, let it sit overnight. Things are looking pretty good as long as the string tension holds. This was a half-assed job at best, but just for me, and I need to get this done and move on and do some other projects, and I'll be perfectly happy with this. The usual feed and wax on the fretboard and string it up. Another reason this video took so long to make is I started a new job. So been just settling in here, working a lot. I love it. It's out in the woods, a big country club basically. But as you can hear, very peaceful nature. I also did hit a deer my second day of work, so messed up my truck and had to take that in. Just been dealing with a lot, so getting back on track now. Thanks for watching the video. Oh, these bastards are everywhere. Actually, I think those are elk. Finally finished with this, my made in Japan Lyle. The setup actually worked out pretty well. The neck reset, action is great, sounds great. Hopefully it holds. I really love the sound of this guitar. It's rugged. And as far as the laminate or real wood issue, I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below, but I think it's real wood based on the way it sounds and the wood imperfections I see in there. This guitar is exactly what I need. Quirky, it's unique. I actually sold my Gibson J15. I sold a lot of gear to kind of fund some further projects. A little bit of regret. It was made in Montana. I never got to make a video about it. It was a nice sounding guitar, mahogany back and sides, but stuff had to go.